My name's Zach McCall, and I'm here with Global Volunteer Crusaders on another volunteer adventure. You never know where in the world volunteering may take you, and today, it's taking me to the top of the world's tallest mountain. Aloha! We at Global Volunteer Crusaders travel the world, looking for volunteer opportunities that promote environmental health, ecological sustainability, social equality, and cultural diversity in order to better educate and motivate young people to make a positive difference in their local communities. You probably thought Mount Everest was the world's tallest mountain, and you're on the right track. At 29,029 feet, Mount Everest is the highest point on the planet. But the distinction of being the world's tallest mountain from base to summit belongs to Mauna Kea here on the big island of Hawaii. Is this thing on?
Now class, listen up. This graph represents the island of Hawaii and the overall total height of Mauna Kea. As you can see, only 13,780 feet of Mauna Kea are visible above sea level. But that's just 1/4 of her total height. Another 20,000 feet lie between sea level and the ocean floor. But what makes Mauna Kea the undisputed heavyweight champion of mountains, geologically speaking, of course, is that due to a geological phenomenon called subsidence, or to the layman, sinking, is that another 23,000 feet lay buried below the floor of the Pacific. So, when comparing mountains like, say, Mount Everest to Mauna Kea, you can see there truly is no comparison. Questions?
So let's do the math. 13,780 feet above sea level, another 20,000 feet between sea level and the ocean floor, but an additional 23,000 feet buried below the ocean floor. That makes the total height of Mauna Kea from base to summit 56,780 feet tall. That's a whopping 27,751 feet taller than Mount Everest. But Mauna Kea isn't the only champion at the top of this mountain. The summit is also home to 2 more world record holders. The world's tallest mountain is also home to the world's highest observatory, as well as both of the world's largest telescopes. The W.M. Keck Observatory is the world's highest observatory and controls both of the world's largest telescopes, the Keck 1 and the Keck 2. Together, these telescopes produce deep space 3D images. The telescopes are 300 feet apart, or the length of a football field. When you combine the images that each telescope takes of the same point in the deepest reaches of space, you get a 3-dimensional image and a more accurate reading of the distance that object is from the Earth. So having the world's largest telescope on top of the world's tallest mountain makes everything crystal clear. Mauna Kea is just one of the reasons why Hawaii is such a beautiful and unique place, and it, along with the volcanoes, is part of the reason why we're here. But, more importantly, something beautiful and unique is happening in Hawaii's communities as well. While I'm staying here on the Big Island, I'm going to be volunteering at an eco-village known as Belly Acres. What's an eco-village? I'm glad you asked. We're going to go see this guy. His name's Graham. He's the founder of Belly Acres Eco Village, and he's going to tell us all about it. You must be Graham.
I'm Graham. Good to meet you,
Yeah,
Zach.
nice to meet you too.
And welcome to Bellyacres.
Thank you, thank you.
I think we should start with a tour. Let me show you around a bit.
Cool, let's go.
Come on.
So Graham showed me around the grounds of Bellyacres. There's a sauna. Across from the sauna are the showers and the bathrooms, and there's also a workshop. Then he showed me the hut I would be sleeping in. This type of structure is called a yurt. After we were done looking around, Graham and I sat down and talked about exactly what an eco-village really is.
Bellyacres is an artistic eco-village, and I know you're probably wondering, what the heck is an eco-village? Do a Google search under eco-villages and you're going to find a whole host of activities that take place at eco-villages. But basically, they all have one thing in common, and that is it's a concern for the future of our world. And when I say our world, I don't just mean the earth, I mean the people in the world. Because one of the things that eco-villages provide is a way for people to live and work and play together. Today, why Bellyacres is important is because it's evolved into a village, and it's a village that's the core of a much larger community here. It happened that through the arts, through entertainment, through performances, we were given some respect in the community. We were able to raise the funding to build what was going to be a home for the circus, but in reality has become a community center, organized by the community and run by the community. Space, Seaview, Performing Arts Center for Education. So what Space has done for the kids in our community is potentially huge. We needed a home base, and now we have it. And what that means is that the kids are going to be getting training in the same facility where they perform a lot. That we're going to have, we've got rigging, which we can never do when we're on the road, in a tent, in a library, in a school. We've got scenery, props that we could never transport in our vans. We've got lighting, and we've got a great sound system. So that's a huge plus if you're a kid or a director of a kids show, trying to present the very best that you can, and that's what we always try to do. Well, the biggest impact that Bellyacres has had on this community since Space opened, it's the community meeting place. What can I say? There's a school, there's a farmer's market, we've had night bazaars, performances, weddings, memorials, and it's a place where people come and talk to their neighbors and listen to their neighbors. Typically there's very few opportunities to actually know your neighbor and talk to your neighbor, but here we've created that, and I would say that that is the #1 biggest impact that Space has had on our community here.